Okay, greetings. This is Rich. I'm Rich. This is Classic Games Redefined. We're going to do what I'm calling a shelfie. I don't know how much stuff you're going to see here, but let's zoom back a bit. You can see what a shelf of stuff I have here. Hopefully it'll come out, but this is when you're looking at the video. If you'll probably look at the left and right hand side, you see a bookshelf. Number of stuff I have, like movies on top. I want to focus on the game stuff here. I pretty much with this bookshelf sorted out. I have War of the Monsters. My fighting games are here. I have War of the Monsters, Ready to Rumble, Soul Calibur 3, Tekken 5, Tekken 4, Tekken Tag Tournament, and I have King of the Fighters Maximum Impact and Virtual Fighters 4 Evolution. I have Mortal Kombat, and I wonder why I have so many different games. They each did stuff like different, pretty much, at this point. They had mini games, so I have that. And then you get the Street Fighter Anthology Anniversary Collection, and which has, I believe, Street Fighter with a bunch of mixed ones. It also, I believe, it has Alpha 3 in it. And then we have Fighting Evolution, Capcom Mixed Characters, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, World Heroes Anthology, Art of Fighting Anthology, Neo Geo Coliseum, and King of the Fighters 11 XI. And yes, that's because of my arcade roots. I like fighting games. I'm not necessarily good at them, but I think you can get a lot of play out of it. So you'll see a focus here on this. Now we go over to the fighting games. So we have Def Jam Fight for New York and Def Jam Vendetta. Could be argued Fight for New York's better, but Vendetta was a good wrestling game. I have Showdown Legends of Wrestling and WWE All-Stars. I put them together. Legend of Showdown, really bad hit collection, hit detection. But it has all these wrestlers in it. I have SmackDown Here Comes the Pain combined with Fire Pro Wrestling Returns. And I picked up for $2. We have Celebrity Deathmatch there. And then we start getting into some minigame stuff. Thrillville Off the Rails, because there's like 50 plus arcade style games stuff in there. And then you have Mojo and Mercury Meltdown, which are Marble Madness type games. Flip Nick, because that's pinball. And then we get into some shooter type stuff. I have Alien Hominid Metal Slug Anthology in Contra Steel Soldier. GameStop was running a sale, so that's why I had them there. And we have Sylphied, and then we get into the Shmumps. Sylphied, R-Type Final, Gradius Final, and you know what I should do with Flipnik? It's just interesting. I probably should move this down here, and we will. Probably should. We'll move these down here. It makes sense. I'm just sorting out the thing here. Hang on a second. We'll pick it up. So, move this here. Right above it. Below it to the pinballs. Okay. Sorry about that. I figured I'd reorganize. It made sense. Then we get down to the Pinball Hall of Fame. Flip next Pinball and put it next to it. Then we have Tetris World and Bejeweled and Astropop. A Super Bust a Move, again the arcade puzzler type things. Bombastic, and why do I have Fanavision? Yes, I know the game's mocked. I happen to like it though. Fireworks meets Missile Command. Then we get over here and we have the SNK. And then we go to compilations. We have the SNK Arcade Classic Volume 1 Mega Man X Collection. We also have the Mega Man Collection and Beautiful Joe in there. Capcom Collection Volume 1, Volume 2, Namco Museum. And that has some stuff in there. Namco Museum had some like updated remakes and stuff. You have the Namco Museum 50th Anniversary. I put Clona in there too for some reason. And I have my Katamari 3 and also Ape Escape 3. Some of these were so cheap you can't get rid of them, but anyhow. Then we get the Midway Arcade Treasures, Volume 1, Volume 2. Spy on Ups here. We're in the Midway area, that's it. And then we get down to Tato, Volume 1, Volume 2. These are very good collections. And I have Sega Classic Collection and the Shinobi and Nightshade, which are part of Shinobi Collection. Then we get down to Sonic Mega Collection, so you get more Sonic in there. And then the Sega Genesis Collection we have. And now we get into the 8-bit pre-crash, where we have the Atari 8-bit Anthology, Activision Anthology, and Television Liz. That's because I'm into the retro stuff here. Let's go down and then I'll go right. Then I have my first-person shooters, Sims and Drivings. We have Time Splitters Future Perfect and Time Splitters 2 in there. And I don't believe I have the original Time Splitter anymore. I just felt it wasn't needed. I might have it, but I doubt it. Unreal Tournament, Red Faction 2, and Dark Watch. We have our first-person shooters. Tribes Aerial Assault, picked that up cheap. More first-person shooters. Twisted Metal Black, driving vehicle. Defender, which could have probably put up above, but decided not to. And then we have Seek and Destroy, which is a terramorphic. I forget the term for it. It's like superhead size things. Real good tank game. And Heat Seeker and Thunderstrike helicopters. And we have the Ace Combat, all three of them. Now we migrate into strategy because we have actually Star Wars Encounters and Armored Core. And we have Star Wars, and I have Wrath Unleashed, which is not as good as Archon, but still has some merits there. Then you get down here, and we're getting to strategy. Army Men Real TS, Conflict Zone, Star Wars Battlefront 2. I could have probably moved it elsewhere, but it has a strategy map, I believe. Aliens vs. Predator Extinction. And these are games I picked up at GameStop cheap, got put in a box. Goblin Commander and Future Tactics, they're similar. There's kind of sci-fi, weird, real-time strategy. And then we get War Tactics, and then this is War Sim stuff. Strike Force Commandos, and then the Dynasty Warriors. I'm in Kawi, which I have Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires and Samurai Warriors 2 Empires, Kessen 2, and Dynasty Tactics. Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and 7 and 8, and Nobunaga's Ambition. Yes, there are multiple ones fitting there. Then we have board game stuff, Cultsip Saga, TH3, The Plan, Big Mother Trucker, which is kind of business sim type thing. Robin Hood, Defender of the Crown, we run a guerrilla war. And I stick Heroes of Might and Magic, the Bone Staff in there. And Dai Senaraku is a war game with some detail to it. One of the real ones, rare ones they have there. We got up here, and we have King of Route 76. My driving games and stuff are below. I just don't have room, so it's stuck up there. I didn't get a chance to try it yet. It was cheap. And then we have Myth 3 Exile, Puzzle Quest, Ring of Red. Doesn't seem to work right. I need to be able to use a different cabling for some reason. And then we have Dark Cloud 2 and Ring of Red and Front Mission 4. That's more strategy stuff. Goes into the RPG. It's kind of an RPG area. I'm not big in RPG, but sometimes the theme grabs me. Front Mission 4 because I happen to like mechs. Dark Cloud 2, which is Diablo procedurally generated, just had a lot of details and really captured inventing. Phantasy Star Zero, that plus Universe. Phantasy Star Universe. That just grabs my interest. I was a fan of it back in the day. That's a Dreamcast callback. Champions of Norath is Diablo procedurally generated. Now Marble Ultimate Alliance and Gauntlet Dark Legacy, arcade stuff, a little bit RPGs too. Then apparently I picked up a cheap, but Deus Ex The Conspiracy. I haven't a chance to play Kingsfield and Draken. Those are 3D RPGs. Mercenaries 1 and 2 and Narc. Yes, wow, I can't believe I have Narc. War Sandbox. Superman Returns. This is your sandbox superhero. Got mixed reviews, but Spider-Man 2 is a classic. Never matched as far as I know now. And then we get down to that. And then I jump into Hack and Slash. Chaos Legions, Nano Breaker, Samurai Warriors XL. And we got Prince of Persia, Sand of Time. Looks like Red Star. It's another Hack and Slash. Mark of Kree. Bunjang Guy. I have no idea what that was. Action Adventure Maximo. Haven, Beyond Good and Evil. Then I have The Riddle of Sphinx, which has good graphics. And then we're going to wrap up here with this part. Well, we have Ratchet and Clank. I have the series, most of them. Some of the late ones I don't have. And Sly Cooper series, Daxter series. I think I put the driving game in there, I think also. Headhunter and Black, single player ones, first person shooters and stuff. Headhunters is Dreamcast. Picked it up cheap. Then we get down to the sports stuff, SSX. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, and Tony Hawk's Pro Tournament. I believe I have multiple SSX versions in there, all the ones. Hits for arcade hockey, then we have NBA Street Volume 2 and 3, and NFL Street, and then we have Arena Football, which is very much like that, and NFL Blitz, and we have those there. And then I have my men. It's the last year they include legacy teams, so I have that if I want to do that, plus rugby. I didn't know where else to stick it. Then we get down to driving games. Again, if you remember over here, let me see if I can find it. If you saw Seek and Destroy, which was a tank game here, you go over here and you have the Road Trip, which is the same cartoony type characters, and you have it. Open world driving with Test Drive Unlimited, then MXS Leash, ATF Oro Fury 3 driving games. Some more I have here, MX and ATV Untamed, Baja 1000, and Paris Dakar, And then we have Gran Turismo 4, and I figured I'd stick the bike sim 1 TT Super Bikes in there, and then get the Need for Speeds, 4 of them. I wasn't sure which one to get. And then we got Burnout, which is really good. We want to do Destructive Arcade Mayhem, and then Midnight Club Dub. And I managed to redo the box. This is a Japanese colored box I had for Auto Modesta, which uses cell shading, and I stuck Ferrari in there because it's kind of simish. And I could have probably put these driving game Midway Arcade Treasure over with the arcade stuff, but the driving games are here. So we have LA Rush and Arctic Thunder are in that. And then we have Crazy Taxi 8, plus 18-wheeler and Outroad 2K6. That was before King of Route 66 you see up there. So anyhow, extensive, wide range of stuff here. I end up getting stuff I really wasn't planning on doing, so that's it. You got my movies over here. I don't know. Don't ignore the Love Guru, please. And other stuff up here. But this is what you have on the shelf. That's a PS2 I don't have hooked up now. Go down here. I got some piles of some stuff here, but this is a PlayStation 3 monitor thing that they sold back, and I picked it up in clearance. If I was going to pick it up, I could do 3D. I just don't. So anyhow. Okay. We'll be showing this stuff off soon. Hopefully it makes sense. And that's it. I do want to thank you for watching, and may your die always roll 5.